What's up, fellas? It's Ed here from Geek, and we're back for another Google Ads Agency Roundtable. What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's
All
up?
right. So, as you see, there's a fifth person on screen today. This is Michael Cooney, the co-founder of What Converts, the call tracking software. A couple weeks ago, we did a roundtable, and we were discussing call tracking options, specifically CallRail versus What Converts. And Michael popped into the YouTube channel comments and said he'd be interested in coming on and just chatting software. And he comes from the agency side of things. So I'm excited to have him on today to have a quick chat. Michael, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I love agencies. That's where I come from. So I saw you guys having a good chat, and I thought I'd love to be part of the conversation. And that's the whole mission of What Converts, is just to help agencies do better marketing and to basically increase their value, for themselves and their clients. Awesome.
So you said you came from the agency world. What's your background on the agency side of things?
Do you want the long version or the short version?
Well, give us the long one. What do you got?
Well, it starts with I was an electrical engineer building gold mines in South Africa, and I dealt with a lot of suppliers. And when I saw the internet for the first time, I was like, wow, this is incredible. All my suppliers are going to be online. I can just get the information and it'll be easy. And nobody was online. This is back in 96. I'm sort of dating myself. So I went to the large directories around that time who organized this information. I said, hey, you got to get on the web. And they looked at me and they said, you're crazy. You're playing football while we're playing baseball on a different field. So I started a directory, and that was my journey in internet marketing. And we would get advertising in the directory to reach engineers. And it was always a problem tracking leads. So from the directory, we then transitioned to be a SEO agency, because what we were doing with the directory, we're getting to Google, and we were doing SEO when it was even before Google started. And we would download our log files from the server. This was before any Google Analytics or Urchin tracking. And we would parse out the keyword data from log files. So that's how long we go back in SEO. So it's really easy now. You get wonderful tools. So we were getting great SEO results early on, and more clients that were in the directory says, hey, can you get us there? So we opened up an agency, developed the websites to get them online. And ultimately the agency became the bigger part. The directory sort of got crushed by Google because people just searched Google ultimately. But from the directory to starting the agency to then showing value to clients through SEO and then ultimately PPC as well, we kept running into issues. So first of all, we got our clients addicted to growth rate in traffic. So they'd start on the search engines, all of a sudden, 100% growth rate. Second year, 100% growth rate. Third year, now you're at the top of the search positions. And we named it the dreaded SEO plateau. So what you realize is when you get there, when you're at the top and you're providing maximum value, I mean, they're getting leads because of the positions, but we got them addicted to growth rate, we'd get fired. And we were like, okay, no, this isn't cool. And then from there, I also started seeing patterns in the PPC world and the SEO world where it was like, well, how many blog posts will you do? How many keywords are you going to manage for me? And ultimately, my sales pitch as an agency was, we're going to deliver leads, and that's how you're going to measure us. So they would say, well, how many keywords? And I said, it doesn't matter. How many hours are you going to spend? It doesn't matter. We're delivering leads. And so you'll value us on leads. So we started doing that, and that made the sales process and the conversation so much better, because clients understand leads are basically opportunities to make a sale. And the more opportunities we give them, the more sales they make, the happier they are. And this was going great. We developed great conversion tracking in Google Analytics. We even custom created some software where it would append the marketing source to any form submissions. So you guys aren't glazing over yet, are you?
No, I'm loving the story.
Okay.
you had me at a gold mine in South Africa, because that's actually where Nick came up.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Already.
Just pops the balls.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. We'll find it out then. So what happened is we were tracking forums, we're appending the source and the keywords, so we knew exactly which forum came from what campaigns and all that, and it would be sent to some clients into an email inbox, to other clients it would go to potentially a CRM. And then we were like missing the phone call portion. So we actually, we opened up an account with CallRail, and we were using CallRail. And I was like, I went into a client meeting. So we're running PPC for this one client, and we had doubled the conversions because we were tracking calls, we were tracking forms. And I went in there, I was like, hey, we doubled conversions. Isn't that great? And the client was like, well, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? I said, look, we got you 100 conversions. We're up from 50. And they said, well, how many were good? And I was like, damn it, man. So now I have to go into the forms, find the forms from that campaign, group those together, then try and get the phone calls together. And it was like 2-3 hours of work. And I said, screw this. I'm done with this. And my developer who was working with me, he had left for a corporate job paying him double the money I could pay him. And he had come back to me and he says, Michael, is there anything we can work on together? I don't want to work for you, but I want to build something with you. And I said, you know what? I've got this idea. And I said, if we can track forms and calls and put them all into one database, a nice dashboard. So when these clients ask these questions, which are good questions, but they're annoying if you can't answer them. I said, I think we got something, but I said, here's the key point. And what's interesting is we're known for call tracking, which is another story in itself. But I said, for us to proceed, you must be able to track any form on any website within 5 minutes. Because I'd done enough work with through the agency where we built these huge product catalogs, but it takes 6 months just to get the data. And I knew if we needed something to catch fire and grow, we needed to be able to implement it within 5 minutes, and the barrier to entry, the friction needs to be really low. So he went away for a week and he came back and he says, I can do it. I said, so any form on any website, they don't need to change the form. They just add a line of code and we can track it. He says, yeah. So I tested it out and it worked beautifully. And then I'm like, well, what happens if somebody has 10 fields in a form or somebody has 20 fields in a form? He says, not a problem. We developed a database structure that doesn't matter how many form fields you have, we can accommodate it and capture it. And then I said, okay, so we'll just integrate with CallRail then to fill the data. And he was like, no, we can do that too. So I said, really? Okay. So that's how What Converts was born. We were on a golf course. We played a round of golf and we said, should we do this? And he says, yeah. And I said, okay, 50-50. Yep. Let's go for it.
Very cool. I love the working story.
When was that? When did What Converts come into being?
That round of golf was September 2014. And then from there, we went into development and March 2015. So about 6 months of development to get to the first version.
So if you don't have to answer this, if you don't want to, how many clients do you guys have, or how many users do you have on your system?
Yeah, it's interesting. I go on the CallRail website and they say they have 200,000 companies that they serve, which is a little misleading. So What happens is our software tracks 40,000 companies, their websites, but our direct customers are like agencies like you guys. So one agency could represent 100 companies.